Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the SUNY Plattsburgh Online General Information Session. We're excited to have you here with us tonight. My name is Paula Bachman. I'm an admissions advisor here in the admissions office, and I will be your hostess tonight, and I'm excited about doing so. I'm also joined by a couple of our currently enrolled students, and I will have them introduce themselves and maybe just give a little description of who you are, what you're majoring in, where you're from, and your status here, just so our audience can kind of get to know you as we're going to be coming to our students a couple of different times throughout the evening tonight. So welcome.
Hi, I'm Lauren. I'm a senior. I'm from Clifton Park, New York, and I'm a TV video production major.
My name is Andrew. I'm a senior here as well from Long Island, and I am a marketing major.
Wonderful. Well, thank you for taking the time out of your evening to be here with us. So we're going to go through a presentation tonight. We're going to cover a little bit about the academic experience overall here at Plattsburgh, as well as student life, and then stop in between to ask our currently enrolled students some questions, and then certainly take any questions from the audience as well. So to get started, we'll actually get started. SUNY Plattsburgh was founded in 1889 as a state normal and training school, and basically our main focus was to educate educators and We had a one-building campus with one major, and it's definitely something that's been very long-standing. I'm happy to say that over the years we've expanded into a four-year comprehensive college, over 300 acres, and have expanded our academic opportunities for our students to over 60 different academic programs and 60 different minors as well. As you can see, a lot has changed over the years, but I'm happy to say that one of the things that has remained strong and true, and that is our dedication to academic excellence. And that academic excellence really does start with your academic experience as a student. This experience has often been times described as a truly one-of-a-kind journey. I do believe that our faculty strive for personal connections, and you will actually get to know them inside and outside of the classroom. They really create a personalized experience with a 16-to-1 student-to-faculty ratio and a class size of about 22. They really do try to get to know you and really collaborate with our students at their undergrad level. No matter what division you find your home in here at SUNY Plattsburgh, I really do feel, and I think the students can attest to, that our academic experience does promise the same three things across the board. And that really is the opportunities to work with outstanding faculty, the opportunities to have plenty of hands-on experience or applied learning, as we call it here at SUNY Plattsburgh, and really to find the support they need to be successful after they graduate. And I definitely think that's something that SUNY Plattsburgh does really well. Would you agree?
Yes,
absolutely.
Definitely, especially for my major and probably for any other major. It definitely is hands-on from the start. Even coming in as a freshman, you are already hands-on with what you want to do.
And same goes for marketing. I know a lot of people who come into business thinking, they'll be just reading textbooks all day, but the professors really find ways to, get us working on different ad campaigns and actually work with clients within the Plattsburgh area. So we're actually, out in the field doing, actual marketing and advertising. So it's not just, sitting around doing textbooks like other schools might be doing.
Wonderful. And I really think, the start of the academic experience starts with our faculty here on campus. And I do believe that the faculty are the biggest resources that you guys will have access to on a daily basis. The faculty are dedicated to their programs, but they're also really leading the way and excelling in innovations and research projects outside of the classroom. In fact, a few of them have even received national awards, National Teacher of the Year awards, and it's definitely something that we're very proud of here. They actually bring the real world into the classroom and even structure their lessons around and address the fast-pacing industries that our students are actually going out and being a part of after they graduate. So it's definitely something that I really think sets us apart from our competitors. And the nice part is that it starts right in the freshman year for our students. Another important factor of the academic experience is the hands-on opportunities that our students have at the undergrad level. I really do believe that SUNY Plattsburgh has a progressive way of teaching that connects the classroom with real-world experience. Students are presented with many different opportunities to test their skills at the undergrad level, and you can see a few of them listed on the screen up there. And the options are taken very seriously, and they're very competitive overall for our students. But I really do think all of them allow students, and they promise students, three key components of experiential learning. One is they allow them to grow as an individual. Certainly that is a very big benefit of applied learning here at the SUNY Plattsburgh campus. It allows them to grow culturally, and certainly not last, but probably the most important is that it allows them to have fun in doing so as well. So that's definitely a plus for our students. Is just as much as we want to support students here, or challenge students here, especially within the academic experience, we also want to make sure that they have the right support to really kind of help them be successful and really get to where they want to go after graduation. And you guys can touch upon this a little bit, but for instance, SUNY Plattsburgh has some wonderful services for our students to utilize here, such as a career development center that really focuses on career exploration and support for students to kind of get that job or get that first step in the door after graduation. They meet with students and do practice mock interviews, they do resume build-up, and they have plenty of workshops that kind of tailor to the students' needs as young and up-and-coming professionals within their particular industries. We have a full learning center for our students to utilize. I think this is a huge benefit to our students. It offers free peer-to-peer tutoring in over 200 classes per academic semester. So we see a lot of students who in there who are really trying to kind of build up their academic GPA, or we see a lot of them, in fact, that are excelling and that just want to offer some assistance in peer-to-peer tutoring to their fellow classmates. So it's definitely something that we're seeing our students utilize on an ongoing basis here. And then we have a wonderful student support service center for students that may have a documented learning disability or maybe just need extended test taking or class note takers or class readers. Again, a lot of different facilities that students can utilize at the undergrad level. That's just going to enrich or help the overall academic experience. Would you guys, have you guys utilized any of the support systems here?
Yeah, I use student support services. I get extra time on tests and note taking, and I'm pretty sure without that, I'd be struggling a little bit, which is one of the reasons why I went to Plattsburgh, because they do have those resources and more available to us.
And definitely going to the Learning Center, I went there for statistics and calculus, and I think without going to the Learning Center, I wouldn't have gotten the grades that I did in those classes. So it definitely was a big help.
Wonderful. Yeah, the academic experience is definitely something that's going to be very unique and tailored to the individual student here at the at SUNY Plattsburgh, but it's definitely something that I think you can find across all the different divisions that we have here on our campus. We actually have 3 different academic divisions, the School of Business and Economics, Education, Health, and Human Services, as well as our Arts and Science division. I do think that it's very important throughout the college search process it's actually a very important, it's probably the key component to your college search process, and there's a lot of different opportunities out there for our students. And I'm really hoping to showcase the different opportunities that SUNY Plattsburgh has, and then asking the students to kind of comment on their experiences as well. First and foremost, the largest division that we have here at SUNY Plattsburgh is our Arts and Science division. We're finding a lot of our students gravitating towards the arts and sciences at some point throughout their academic experience. Whether they come to us as a declared major or if you're within that 30% of our incoming class that comes in as undeclared, a lot of the courses you're going to be taking as a part of the general education program comes from our Arts and Science division. In order to do it proper justice, I kind of like to think of this particular division on smaller subcategories, if you will, just to kind of showcase the array of different opportunities that we have. The first one would be our Social Sciences division. And within social sciences, you're going to find a lot of our more numbersome programs, more prominent programs within the arts and sciences. For instance, we have a very attractive criminal justice program for our students. Because of our proximity to Canada, students can do some very unique things with U.S. Customs, Homeland Security, Border Patrol, as well as have preparation for law school or law enforcement as well. So it's definitely drawing a lot of students to our campus. Psychology is another big draw for our students. It is a wonderful opportunity for students to kind of do a lot of different things under the umbrella of psychology. We have a very active Center for Behavioral Health on campus that would include Nexus Center, a Traumatic Brain Injury Center, a lot of different things for our students to utilize at the undergrad level that may set us apart a little bit more than some of our sister SUNY schools in this particular area. A very in-depth 4-year program in anthropology that kind of gets you right out into the field right away. So it's definitely something we're seeing our students gravitate towards is the social sciences within the arts and sciences here. The second would be your arts and humanities subcategory. We're very prominent in the visual and performing arts here at SUNY Plattsburgh. We have a full art, music, and theater program that allows students to do a lot of different opportunities. We're known as the Museum Without Walls here at SUNY Plattsburgh, so we actually have over 300,000 pieces of artwork all over our campus, whether it be in an art exhibit or on the side of a building or in a courtyard. It's definitely something that just enriches the overall experience for our students, and I think that's a big attraction for a lot of them and just something that they're excited to see on an ongoing basis. We also have a full Center for Communication and Journalism, one of the first of its kind within the SUNY system. In that particular center, you'll actually find a student-run television station, 2 radio stations, an award-winning newspaper, as well as a magazine that's both online and in print. So a lot of different opportunities for our students. And then I don't want to forget to mention that we do have 3 full 4-year programs in English. So that's a very attractive option for our students as well, literature, language arts, as well as creative writing. So it's definitely, we're seeing a lot of students drawn to our arts and humanities. The last subcategory being our math and sciences. You're hearing more so about the math and sciences in terms of STEM in the high schools, science, technology, engineering, and math. And that's definitely something that SUNY Plattsburgh is recognizing and supporting, and we're seeing an up-and-coming part of the Arts and Science Division. Here's where we really stand out from our some of our SUNY sister colleges is throughout the SUNY system in general, it's very attractive and easy to find some very long-standing and traditional programs in like biology, chemistry, biochemistry, physics, but where I think we really stand out is those unique niches that we have. For instance, we have a full Center for Earth and Environmental Science that allows students to do a lot of different things. We have something as very specific as cytotechnology or medical technology for students to focus on. We have a 3+2 program in engineering where students can actually get 2 complete bachelor's degree programs out of that particular 3+2 program. So it's definitely a huge draw for our students, our Arts and Sciences division here at SUNY Plattsburgh. The next division is the School of Business and Economics, the School of Education, Health, and Human Services. This is actually our pre-professional program here at the institution. A lot of these particular programs are a little bit more competitive and a little bit more rigorous in terms of the requirements to get into for admissions. So if you're seeing any of these as of an interest to you on the screen now, just to kind of remember to apply a little bit earlier than most applicants, maybe around November 1st of your senior year is definitely something that I would encourage you to do. As I mentioned in the beginning, we were founded as a state normal and training school, so education has been a single major for us for a while, and it's still a very prominent part of our Education, Health, and Human Services divisions. We've just expanded our opportunities for students. Right now, we actually offer a couple of programs that actually will provide students with a bachelor and master's degree within 5 years. So it's really saving them time and money, and it's definitely something we're seeing a lot of students attracted to. Within this division, you'll also find some very hard to find and rare 4-year programs throughout the SUNY system. For instance, expeditionary studies, which allows you to do some concentrations. We see kayaking, backcountry skiing, or rock climbing is definitely a huge draw for students, or fitness and wellness leadership, which is a program that combines exercise science and business into one particular program. So maybe you're looking to go on to occupational therapy or personal fitness training or physical therapy. This is definitely a program of interest to a lot of our students. Nutrition and social work, very hard to find 4-year programs throughout the SUNY system, and it's definitely something that we're seeing draw students into this particular division as well. And by far, the most competitive program that we have is our nursing program. It is a direct admit program right from the freshman year. Just to give you an example, we get about 1,000 applications for 55 overall slots into this particular program. So definitely a huge draw, our pre-professional programs here at SUNY Plattsburgh. The last division that I want to mention tonight is the School of Business and Economics, and this is another very prominent division here on the campus. First and foremost, it is internationally accredited. You can see the stamp of approval there, the AACSB accreditation. So what this means is that you're not only going to get a good quality educational experience, you're going to get a global component inside the classroom as well, and that's really nice to know. You could be sitting next to someone from the States, but then all across the world, actually, and it just enriches the overall experience and the takeaway that our students are having in those particular programs. You can see 11 different distinct standalone 4-year degree-bearing programs. These are not concentrations in business. They are full 4-year degree programs. Again, a lot of traditional programs you're going to find throughout the SUNY system. General business is very popular, economics, finance, accounting, but again, some very unique ones to SUNY Plattsburgh. For instance, global supply chain management, how to get things from point A to point B faster and cheaper than anybody else. I really do think we're in a great niche of New York State where in 20 minutes you can be in another country, 20 minutes you can be in another state, and we're right on the 87 corridor. You can go down to the city in a half a day's drive. So the importing and exporting of goods is happening on a consistent basis here. So it's definitely a prime location to learn something as specific as global supply chain management. Entrepreneurship, we're the only comprehensive college within SUNY to offer a 4-year degree program in entrepreneurship. So maybe you wanted to learn how to start your own business and learn how to do that from start to scratch and how to be successful in between, a great place to do that as well. And lastly, hotel, restaurant, and tourism management, a wonderful program that combines hospitality, tourism, and business all in one program. Our students have wonderful opportunities on this campus utilizing our 5-star restaurant Samuel D's at the undergrad level and kind of getting really key experiential learning opportunities there even before they do an internship or a practicum experience within that particular program. So again, a lot of different things we're seeing students be very successful within across all the different divisions that we have here. Now, it really doesn't matter what division you find your home in. Another key component to the college search process is going to be the facilities that you have at the undergrad level to utilize. SUNY Plattsburgh has wonderful opportunities for students, and as you see them populating on the screen here, by all means not an extensive list, but some of the more popular, the bigger facilities we're seeing our students utilize. I'll draw your attention to the 2 newest ones. On the top of the screen, the one under the featured facility sign is actually the new science annex. That is, between that and the renovation project to our current science facility, over $37 million renovation project with over $3 million worth of new technology and laboratory spaces for our students. So it's definitely an impressive facility. And the nice part is that you don't have to be a science major to find yourself utilizing the facility. You could be just taking a general education course, or you could be taking a particular academic program that might focus within the sciences and find yourself utilizing this facility. So it's definitely a nice benefit for our students all around. On the opposite side in the top corner, that is our brand new School of Business and Economics as well as Computer Science facility, and it's definitely a wonderful facility for our students, a lot more space and new technology that's very business-like and business-oriented that really lets them experience the cutting-edge technology within the business and computer science sector. So it's definitely a wonderful benefit for our students. Have either of you had opportunities to work with different facilities at the undergrad level here within your programs?
Yeah, one of them is PSTV, which you can see on there, Plattsburgh State Television. And my first semester, I worked on 4 different shows. And you get to work on different things. Like I worked as camera, floor manager, teleprompter, and all this other fun stuff. And then last semester, I was actually a producer. So I produced my own show for PSTV, and not only do students in the dorm rooms get to see it, but it also goes out to Clinton County. So people all around Clinton County can turn on and see my show on PSTV, which is pretty cool.
And as you mentioned, the new business building, you know, as a senior in the marketing major, I've taken 8 classes, and they're all in the new All-Sable Hall. So it's definitely nice to get to utilize the new buildings and, you know, take advantage of the new equipment that we have and all the kind of high-tech and savvy business facilities that we have here, so it's definitely nice to get to use that every day.
Great. And I just want to point out that these facilities that you guys are utilizing at the undergrad level are even before you get to an internship or practicum experience. So it's just double the opportunities for students to kind of hone their skills, and that's definitely a huge benefit for our students all around. So going on that, probably the most common form of experiential learning known to a student is an internship or practicum experience, and Plattsburgh certainly encourages students across all different disciplines to get involved with experiential learning. Again, on the screen now you'll see probably the more popular places where we're seeing our students going across the different divisions that we have here. By all means, not an extensive list at all, but I was fortunate enough to actually have 3 undergraduate internships before I graduated from SUNY Plattsburgh. Plattsburgh, and the nice part is that what these allow students to do is really to build up their professional resume or their portfolio. They allow people in an industry that they want to pursue to learn their work ethic and what they're capable of doing. It really just opens up doors and different possibilities to really set yourself apart from a competitor that might be applying for the same position you after graduation. So whether they're incorporated into your degree program or not, they're highly encouraged across all the different disciplines here at SUNY Plattsburgh, and they're encouraged by all the faculty, and they're going to help you be successful in doing that as well, if that's something that you're desiring. So that concludes actually the academic portion of the presentation. So I do want to come back to our currently enrolled students and hear a little bit more about your academic experience here at SUNY Plattsburgh. Can I ask you guys to touch a little bit upon about what you're experiencing or how you actually selected your particular degree program here at SUNY Plattsburgh?
Well, I've known I always wanted to do something with like TV, movies, and stuff like that. And the reason why I chose Plattsburgh is because it did have the on-campus TV station, but not only is it on campus, like, well, its own on-campus TV station, it's also student-run. There's also professors there who are like willing to help you and will help you, especially in other classes. But for PSTV, you are like doing it, you are actually like turning on the radio, or not radio, sorry, audio. You're sending it out to everybody's TV. So the fact that you're doing it on your own, like, really drew me into Plattsburgh.
In terms of me being part of the business program, it's one of the things I did last semester is I took international marketing. So part of that was we got a group of students in France, actually. So we spent the entire semester working on an advertising campaign with a group of students in France for tourism in Croatia. So it was definitely a good hands-on experience and definitely a lot of international usage. You know, we had to make Skype calls to France. You know, we have to work with different time zones and language barriers. So it was definitely a unique experience for me and something that I look forward to doing more in the future.
Wonderful. I do want to encourage any of the audience out there that this is your time to ask questions as well. So certainly if you had any questions academic related for our panelists, certainly you can type them in and we would answer them here during the presentation tonight. So my next question to you guys is, not too long ago, you were kind of going through this college search process. What was that transition like to college, and what did you find helpful along the way?
So for me, it was definitely learning time management. I know everyone says that, and that's the most basic answer anyone can give, but that was the thing that really, you know, transitioned me from high school to college. You know, my first couple weeks here, I didn't really take it seriously, and, you know, when I got a project the first day of school that wasn't due until December, I look at it and say, I got 3 months to do this. I'm not even going to think about it now. But now, you know, just this past week, I got a project that's due in December, and I've already started it because, you know, I know that I'm going to get really, you know, a lot busier during the semester and kind of take the first couple weeks, you know, when you don't have too much homework building up just yet, that's when you got to do things. You know, everyone needs a planner. Whether or not you want one or not, you need one. But once you kind of figure out the routine that you'll be in once you're in school, then everything kind of goes from there.
Yeah, I would agree. Also, time management, it helps a lot. Like, even as a freshman, like, same, I would just wait until the last minute to do stuff, but then you realize, like, wow, I have more and more stuff to do, so time management definitely helps. And also, time management can help you not only just with school, but also social life. Like, you need time not to, like, focus on school and, like, go get lunch with your friends or something like that. So having time management, that way you can do schoolwork, but also have fun and hang out with friends at the same time.
Wonderful. Yeah. What would you say your camaraderie has been, or your relationships have been like with your professors? That's key to, obviously, student success at any college, but I think that's something that SUNY Plattsburgh does really well. Maybe talk a little bit about some of those connections that you have and maybe why they're so important to your success.
Absolutely. So one of the things for me is the marketing department is kind of one of the smaller departments. One of my professors, Dr. Gottschall, he teaches 3 of my classes this semester. So it's definitely, you know, a unique experience for me where, you know, I have 3 completely different classes, 3 completely different subject matters, but then you have the same professor for all of it, so you really kind of get to know their teaching style and things like that, and, you know, they get to learn how you learn best as well. So it allows them to kind of personalize their teaching, so that you get the most out of it rather than, you know, everyone, you know, kind of getting to know a different professor every time. So having the, you know, the small professor staff, you know, you really kind of get to know them a lot better than having to, you know, get to meet new professors every semester and then every class. So having, you know, the same professors every semester between different classes, it really kind of makes it a lot easier.
One thing that I like about the professors here is even when you have a class with them one semester, they'll still stick with you throughout your whole career here in college. Like, I've had a professor my freshman year, and I've still been meeting with him, talking about, like, what I want to do after, and I still haven't had him as a professor since freshman year. But the professors are willing to go out and, like, get to know you. They're not scary at all. And they definitely know what they're doing. A lot of my professors have done what they're teaching before they became a professor, which I really like.
Building on what she said, it's, you know, a lot of times you can go out and you can have lunch with your professors and it's not weird at all. Whereas, you know, in high school you might find it weird to go run into your English teacher at Starbucks. But here it's completely normal, and then, you know, you'll get your coffee and you go drink it with them. So it's one of the cool kind of camaraderie things you can have with your professors.
I enjoyed that as a student as well. Can I ask either of you, did any of you come in to SUNY Plattsburgh as undeclared not knowing what you wanted to do, or did you guys actually know what you wanted to do, or kind of how was that?
Well, I came in undeclared. Like I said, I've always known that I want to do something with TV and video, but coming in undeclared, like, I wasn't really 110% sure. I knew I had an interest in it, and when I came in undeclared, I got an advisor, and when I told him my interest, he would give me a class that would be a recommendation for my major, but also could cover a credit even if I wasn't in that major. So that way, like, I can take some classes and not have it be a complete waste, which I really liked.
I came in originally as a marketing major, but since being within the major, I've kind of honed in where I want to go with that. So marketing has so many different broad aspects, like, you know, research or branding or advertising. And through all the different classes that I've taken, I've kind of decided that I want to go more down the advertising side of things. So having the different classes, and, you know, marketing being such a broad, you know, study area, it's still one of the things where I came in thinking I knew what I wanted to do, and I still am within the field, but now I really know what I want to do.
Wonderful. So one last question for you before we actually move on to the student life section, but kind of a fun question because I'm intrigued to know, but what would you say has been your favorite class so far, and why? Yeah, is it a part of the Gen Ed program, or is it actually one of your core classes?
One of the more interesting classes that I've taken was actually part of the Gen Ed. It was my culture requirement, and it was actually the history of Canadian hockey. So, you know, we learned everything from when they, you know, really wasn't any hockey to kind of where it is today. So that was, it really doesn't apply to anything that I'm doing now in school, but it was just a fun class, and the credits actually made a difference in my degree works, so it wasn't a waste either. So that was just one of the fun things that I've done.
One class that I took, I think it's a Gen Ed, but I took a dancing class, which is interesting but really fun. And our final was this like show that we put on that was open to the public, so like all my friends got to come, and you get to make your own dance and stuff like that, and learn about the history of dance, which is pretty cool. So that is one of my favorite classes.
Great. It sounds like you guys are having a wonderful academic experience, so that's good to hear. So just as important, equally important in academics is probably the supplemental part of that, and that is your student life on campus. So certainly you're going to spend a lot of time inside of the classroom, but it's not going to be as much time as you're spending outside of the classroom. So knowing your students and your student body is probably an important part of the search factor overall. And I really do think SUNY Plattsburgh has a wonderful student life experience. We are an undergraduate campus of just under 6,000 students overall, so we're really focused on the undergraduate degree. And as I mentioned before, we're really big in the international population. In fact, we have over 450 students from their international students, which makes us the second largest international student in terms of student size within the sister SUNY schools throughout the SUNY system. We have students that are represented from over 25 different states and 70 different countries, so it really does make a great mix of students. So you're not just seeing the same faces from the same places, you're actually learning and kind of incorporating that into your experience and your leadership positions outside of the classroom. I think it's also important to note that the diversity of the students is not just their backgrounds, but where they started in their academic journey. We bring in about 1,000 freshmen each year, but we also bring in equally number of transfer students each year. So we really cater to the transfer student. We're a very transfer-friendly institution, and this just kind of showcases that we really do meet students at all different points throughout their academic journey, and that SUNY Plattsburgh does prepare them for success as well. So it's definitely something that really, I think, just enriches our overall experience. So one of the other things that attracts students to our campus, besides our academics, I believe is our region. I mentioned this a little bit part of the academic experience, but we really are in a great location here in the northern part of New York State. We're just outside the Adirondack Park, so if you're looking to do anything outdoors related or a cultural immersion experience, this is definitely the location for you. With the Adirondack Park right in our backyard, we have the historic Lake Champlain just a couple of miles from our campus in the downtown Plattsburgh area. We're about 45 minutes from Lake Placid, New York, which is a two-time Olympic village. We're about an hour away from Montreal, which is a city of about 3 million people. So there's a lot of different things for our students to take part in. Away from the campus when they're out and about and not doing their academics. So it's definitely something that I think just makes the overall experience, the Plattsburgh life, if you will, more of a draw for our students overall. But that's not to take away from the city of Plattsburgh itself. I do think our city has a lot to offer our students, and I think they would agree as well. We have a population of about 31,000 in size, and the nice thing about it is that SUNY Plattsburgh is not a gated campus. So our campus is actually situated right in the center of the city, which makes it nice for our students. It's very easy for them to access what we call Uptown, which is coming off the I-87 highway. So if you were to come to visit SUNY Plattsburgh, which I would encourage you to do, you'd find yourself getting off 87 and actually driving down through our commercial side of Plattsburgh, where you'd find the malls and the chain restaurants and the movie theater and the big box stores that, you know, are amenities and certainly a plus for our college students. But then if you could continue down, you'd actually find yourself right in the heart of our campus. And that is a nice benefit for our students. And then if you can continue to go on that same road, you'd actually find yourself within a couple minutes in our downtown, which is the more historical side of Plattsburgh, right on the Lake Champlain with the monuments and the river walks and the more mom and pop feel and local flavor. So it's definitely a huge draw for our students. We have a lot of different opportunities for transportation. We're located and supported by a Greyhound as well as Amtrak, and we do have an international airport. Carpooling is big, as well as the Student Association sponsored shuttle for our students, where they will take them around campus and uptown and downtown while school is in session. So again, the city of Plattsburgh has a huge draw for our students as well as the region. And if we scale it down even smaller than that, I think it's important to talk a little bit about where you're going to live while on campus. As a student coming to SUNY Plattsburgh, if you're from outside that 50-mile radius, you are going to be mandated to live on campus for at least your first 2 years. So it's important to know where you'd be living, and you guys probably can talk about this more so than I can, but we do have 12 different residence halls for our students. 2 specifically freshman residence halls, Whiteface and Wilson. I do believe that we do have a few different styles of residence halls for students to choose from, and it really is kind of their preference whether they want to live in a suite style or a corridor style coming to a new campus for their first year. What was that experience like for you guys? What did you opt into? The all freshmen, non-freshmen, suites?
So my freshman year, I opted into all freshman housing, so I ended up living in Whiteface Hall. And for me, that was, I probably met about half my friends that I'm still friends with today, just from my floor living on Whiteface. So it was definitely a great experience for me, and I'm not sure that I would have gotten the same kind of relationship with everyone if I didn't live in a freshman housing, because from moving day, everyone is just trying to get to know everyone, just kind of ease into the whole college experience. So when you're doing that with, 300 people in your building, it kind of eases the process.
Yeah, I also did an all-freshman building. I lived in Wilson, and I did like the all-freshman building because everybody is in the same exact position you're in. Everyone's like a little nervous for the first few weeks of the semester because it's so brand new, but being on the floor where everybody's in your shoes, or even a building when everybody's in your shoes, like, you get to make friends. You have that open door policy where you can leave your door open, people can come in, say hi. And yeah, some of the friends I met on my freshman floor, I'm still really good friends with, and I'm a senior. So I think the all-freshman building is a good idea.
Is it safe to say that the majority of the activity on campus, the relationship building, starts within the residence hall for the students?
Absolutely.
Definitely, yep.
Yeah.
And even if it's not just, making friends with people who you're living with, you get a lot more access to what's going on through just, your RA promoting events, just seeing flyers around the building than you would just, walking through some of the academic buildings.
Yeah. And I think that those extracurricular activities, those relationships really are what make our campus thrive. I really do think that it's the students who really make our student activities what they are. And SUNY Plattsburgh has so many different opportunities for students to get involved outside of the classroom, opportunities that kind of build up their leadership skills and their life skills that they might not learn inside of the classroom. And Plattsburgh does offer a lot of different things, and I think our Student Association has so much to do with the life that we see on campus. Our Student Association actually has a $1 million budget to work with each academic year, and they're really passionate about what they do and really listen. Our students really have a voice here on campus. So what they want to see invested is where they're putting the money, and they're supporting all of the different things that keep our campus what we call active and not a suitcase campus, because when our students are here, they're staying here long term and not going away on the weekends. They're really thriving and building up the relationships all throughout the academic year. We have over 80 different clubs and organizations that are sponsored and supported by our Student Association, and they really do range all the way from, we have a Yukaduke, so if you're interested in playing with the ukulele, to Pilates Slack, which is like tightrope walking, to a Red Zone, which is like Super Cardinal Pride through at our sporting events. So there's a lot of different things that attract our students, and we really hope that students will find something that they're interested in. If for some reason they don't, again, our Student Association is there, and they're really going to help support them and kind of help fund their interests as long as there's a need on our campus. I really do think we're great in giving back to our community. Community service is huge here on campus, and I think that stems a lot from our fraternities and sororities on campus who are really interested in that philanthropy and kind of giving back to the community and kind of making that collaboration between on and off campus. So it's definitely something our students getting involved in. And then intramural and club sports is huge on campus as well. I remember as an undergrad student, I did intramural volleyball. Have any of you done intramural club sports?
I've seen them before.
Yeah, it's just a nice part because if you're not ready to commit to a Division III level, it's nice to compete around campus and kind of, again, build those relationships and play with your fellow peers at a competitive level. So there's definitely a lot of different activities supported here on our campus that we're seeing our students engage in. And speaking of athletics, we actually have 15 different intercollegiate teams on our campus, and you can see them populated on the screen there. We are a Division III institution, and please don't let the Division III fool you. We are very competitive and we take our sports very serious here. Probably the most popular spectator sport would be our ice hockey teams. They are very, very stellar teams. In fact, our women's team are now three-peats, back-to-back-to-back defending national champions. So there's definitely something that we're really excited about. And you don't have, again, you don't have to compete at the Division III level to feel that sense of pride, that cardinal pride that we feel here on the campus. Our sports and athletic events are very well attended both by our students as well as our campus community. They're out there, everyone from the president to the lunch ladies at the dining facility. So it's definitely something that brings us all together, and I encourage you to experience if you get an opportunity to do that, whether you're just visiting or you're actually a part of our student body as well. So let's turn it back to our currently enrolled students here and to hear a little bit more about your student life on campus. What to you is the biggest benefit of being an active member of our student body?
Definitely a benefit is being social and getting to know everybody. I remember in high school I was really shy and not really wanting to go out, but being involved with the campus, you get to meet people you never even thought you could be friends with and stuff like that, which is great. And that's one of the many reasons why I definitely like getting involved on campus.
Absolutely. And just to kind of add on to what Lauren was saying, once you get involved, you're out of your dorm room from time to time, If you're just sitting in your dorm room, you get bored, So getting involved on campus is a way to kind of relax from the homework that you're doing all the time and just kind of let loose and distract yourself.
How easy would you say that it is to get involved on campus? Is it something that's pulling teeth to do, or is it something that you're encouraged to do?
So for me, when I was on campus, it was kind of difficult to not get involved. Mm-hmm. It's every different club and different involvement is so welcoming and so encouraging for new people to join that it made it hard for me to kind of stay away. So something like that, it was definitely very easy to get involved.
Yeah, it definitely is very easy. Even when you walk into one of our buildings, the ACC, you have a bunch of fraternity and sorority life welcoming you and trying to get to know you, but then you also got all these flyers everywhere. You got flyers on the wall, you got flyers on the table, with a list of everything involved, or what you can get involved with. So it's definitely very easy to get involved here on campus.
Wonderful. Let's talk a moment about food, because certainly that's a key component of the search process. Certainly, how is the food that I'm going to be eating on the campus? Maybe you guys could talk a little bit about your dining experience or the different options that SUNY Plattsburgh has for you.
Well, for freshman year, the freshman meal plan, you get unlimited meal swipes, and you can go to Clinton Dining Hall, and that's open all day. And I don't remember the hours for Algonquin, but it's another dining hall. And it's basically a buffet style, so you can never go hungry, but they don't have the exact same things every single day. They do switch it up, so it's definitely not repetitive. But you also have the downer, which is, you can go in and get, Chinese, flatbreads, and all the other fun stuff, so.
Cool.
I don't know the number off the top of my head, but there's a stupid number of different places that you can go eat around campus, and all of them have, kind of rotating menus. So no matter how bored you get with the food, there's always something different.
Oh, wonderful. And I do want to encourage you at the audience, and I should have mentioned this a couple of questions ago, but again, this is your opportunity to ask questions about student life or the living here on the SUNY Plattsburgh campus to our students. So I certainly welcome you to type in any questions that you have at this point, and we'll be answering those as well. But okay, so I have a question for you. I know you guys are probably super involved, as you talked about. It's hard to not get involved on our campus. What would be, if you had to pick just one, your favorite involvement on the campus, and why?
Well, actually, I'm a part of Alpha Delta Phi Society, which is a co-ed fraternity, so both guys and girls. We still do community service and everything like that, and that has definitely been a huge part of getting to know everybody, because even though I'm in one org, you get to know everybody who's in this org or in another org, but you definitely don't have to do fraternity or sorority life just to get involved or get connections. You honestly don't have to, but I would say for me, that has been a big part of getting involved here on campus.
I'd say my favorite part was joining the AMA, the Marketing Honor Society, and with that, we go to conventions around the country. We have speakers come to campus and talk to us. there's also a ton of connections that can be made through, you know, an honor society like that. So it's one of the things that, you know, it's a professional activity as well as social activity. So you kind of get the best of both worlds with that.
Wonderful. So before we move on to the last section of our presentation, I guess I want, from your point of view, how would you describe the SUNY Plattsburgh student body? What is your take?
They're very unified. Everyone on campus they're very welcoming to each other. You don't walk around and feel alienated by anyone. You know, when you're walking around school and, you know, you see people who you have classes with before or in your classes now, everyone, you know, says hi to each other, and everyone, it's kind of, you know, it feels like one student body as opposed to, you know, you have the Greek life over here and, you know, the science department's this way. It's everyone kind of acts as one cohesive unit.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. Every time I walk around campus, like, I always get people, I say hi to people, people say hi to me, people say hi to my friends, and it's definitely, they're very welcoming, and, like, even if, like, you have, like, a class, like, on the first day of class, even just being in that class, you guys have something in common, and you can talk about it and then become friends and go get lunch together or something like that, so they are very welcoming.
Wonderful. Thank you. So we've actually talked about academics, and now we've talked about student life. So there really is just one part of the equation that we haven't talked about, and that's really what you guys need to do to actually get here to join us on the SUNY Plattsburgh campus. So as you start your college search process, or maybe you have already started, I definitely think from the admissions point of view, there's some helpful hints that you guys should keep in mind, and certainly you probably would agree with a few of these as well. But continue with a challenging course load throughout your academics in high school. It's definitely important to kind of continue with those core classes so it really doesn't limit your opportunities when you get to the application process. A lot of times in higher education, some programs are going to require certain courses and others are not. And if you don't really know what you want to do, you really don't want to limit yourself. And it really kind of keeps things going. And taking core courses, it kind of makes that process, that transition from high school to college very seamless and ongoing for the students. Staying organized and checking your email frequently. I say apply using an email address that you would check on a regular basis. I do believe that many of the institutions now have gone paperless, so a lot of them utilize heavily the email address that you do provide, where they're going to send you important updates and reminders regarding your application or scholarship information. Always include your name and date of birth on all documents. This way nothing can be mismatched. And that we can easily match your documents up to your application when they come in, if they do come in at different times, and then certainly ask for any assistance when necessary. Admissions offices, just like the SUNY Plattsburgh admissions office, is always there and is looking to support our students on an ongoing basis. And we just really want to make this process enjoyable for you and as seamless as possible. So just some helpful hints to kind of remember along the way. Certainly, and also another key component to the search process is the college admissions requirements. As you see the screen populate, the next slide populating, this is actually our student profile for our incoming class. And the key thing to remember here is this is the middle of 50% of our students. This is the average. So 25% are lower than this profile and 25% are higher. Here at SUNY Plattsburgh, typically we're looking for a solid B+, student for most of our academic programs. A lot of them fall between an 85 and a 91 high school average. We are definitely looking for either an SAT or an ACT to complete the application process. There are two different ACTs out there. If you're doing the old formulated SAT, we're typically looking for between a 990 to an 1120 on the two parts. That's the math and critical reading parts. If you're using the new formatted SAT, that's a 1070 through an 1190 on the two parts. And then certainly if you do take the ACT, we're typically looking for about a 21 to 25 on the ACT composite overall. I do think it's important to mention again that we are a very transfer-friendly institution. So for most of our academic programs, we're looking for about a 2.6 or higher in terms of your CUME GPA for admissions. And then we certainly want to award and recognize students' hard work at the high school level. We do give away, as well as the transfer level, excuse me about that, we do give away about $4 million worth of scholarships annually. It equates to about 43% of our incoming freshmen. So we do have a wonderful scholarship calculator right on our webpage that you can actually put in all your information in and hit calculate. It'll show you how much you're looking to be awarded when you come into SUNY Plattsburgh, so it's definitely a huge resource for our students going forward. It's also important to remember some key dates and deadlines. As the screen populates here, you'll see a column for fall admission as well as spring admission. Here at SUNY Plattsburgh, just like many of our sister SUNY schools, we operate on what we call rolling admission. So we don't have a hard set deadline for the application process. However, we do have an encouraged deadline. We do recommend December 1 of your senior year if you're looking to apply as a freshman, and then around March 1 if you're looking to apply as a transfer student. FAFSA is definitely something, it's the next part after the application process. Typically, FAFSA is actually operating a little bit differently this year. It's actually a little bit earlier, so students can actually start that with their family as early as October 1 this year using prior year's information. So it's definitely a nice component to actually be able to do that and get your financial aid package a little bit sooner, so you can actually talk that out with your family and really make a sound decision that's best for you going forward. The only hard deadline up here is the national deposit deadline, and typically that is around May 1st. Where we're really encouraging students to have paid their down deposit and have secured their spot in an incoming class somewhere. Many colleges operate on a first-come, first-served basis after that May 1st deposit deadline, so it's just a key thing to keep in mind as you continue through your college search process. Now, another tool that I see students utilizing in the college search process is social media. Social media is very up and coming. A lot of students are utilizing it this day and age. And it's definitely something where students can, especially if they can't visit the campus right away, they can actually go on and see different candid shots of the campus. I know our internal hashtag here at SUNY Plattsburgh is #PlattsLife. Have you guys used it or checked it out? Yeah. So there's a lot of different things that our faculty and students will post. It's a great way for you to informally stay connected and kind of get the real deal that the campus kind of presents itself. But it's also a fun way just to kind of have fun and win free stuff from the institution. For instance, if you did come to SUNY Plattsburgh for a visit and you used the #MyPlattsVisit, and maybe you posted a picture of something you liked to our Twitter or Instagram account, we'd actually send you some free Plattsburgh memorabilia, as you can see in some of the pictures there. So it's definitely a great way to kind of stay connected throughout the search process to the institutions that remain on your top 5 going forward. So hopefully, between myself and the currently enrolled students here, you can see that SUNY Plattsburgh really does have a lot to offer. I really do think we have great academics, as well as a student life balance that's on a campus that I believe, and I'm a little biased, that's unsurpassed throughout the SUNY system in terms of our location and what we have to offer for our students on an ongoing basis. So I really do hope Plattsburgh remains on your short list going forward. I hope you come up to visit us. I'd love to meet you in person. And I really just challenge each and every one of you today to imagine what you could accomplish here at SUNY Plattsburgh, because we really do have a lot to offer. So with that, I want to turn to the students one last time, because certainly your experience is something that they want to know about. So again, put yourself back in their shoes. When you were going through the college search process, think back, where were you accepted, and how did you ultimately decide on SUNY Plattsburgh?
So for me, I got accepted to every school that I applied to, and it was actually probably February or March that I was going around. I was looking at all the different schools, and then when I came to SUNY Plattsburgh, you know, my older sister, she told me that when I was looking at campuses, to just go with the one that made me feel like I was at home. So that was, you know, kind of the feeling that I had when I was here. So actually on my way home from Plattsburgh back to Long Island, we actually paid the deposit on my phone, and then we canceled our trips to some of the other schools that we were going to go look at. So it's just one of those things that when I came here, I knew that this is where I wanted to come.
I got accepted into Oswego, which I know is kind of like our rival school, but the main reason why I chose Plattsburgh is because of the location. Well, one of them is because of the location. Like, for me, it's just 2 hours and 15 minutes away from home. You do get Montreal and Burlington, but it's also so much more with the campus. And, like, from seeing the campus life here and getting to go into a classroom, seeing that on-campus TV station, everything new that's happening on campus, that's probably the main reason why I chose Plattsburgh.
Wonderful. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to join us tonight. I do want to wish you the best of luck for a very successful fall semester, and I'm certainly think you guys are going to be successful in anything that you do going forward, just from getting to know you. So thank you for being a great audience tonight, but if there's no additional questions at this time, we are going to end our session and log off. So have a great night. Bye.